Like many other children in Pakistan and all across the world, Ramla Ahmad Malik and her fellows are unable to go to school. They are restricted in their homes due to lockdown. So we decided to record a science lesson for them to cheer them up. This is the course book, Creative Science, Course Book 3. If you are a student of grade 3 and you want to learn about living and non-living things, this lesson is for you. If you're not a student of grade 3, even then you want to learn about living and non-living things, this can be very helpful. So let's start. Let's take a walk in the garden. Let's observe around. There's grass, there are flowers, there are butterflies. I want to have a butterfly for myself in my room. I wish to keep this butterfly with me in the glass jar forever. But why butterfly is struggling already? My stone collection is also in a glass jar, but they are sitting there nice and happy. What's going on? I think stones and butterfly in a jar are two different things. One is moving and another is not moving at all. Stones are non-living things, they are fine in a glass jar. Butterflies and other living things have needs. Let's find out more about it. Let's learn more about living things and non-living things. Living things. They need air to breathe. Okay, this reminds me of the butterfly in the jar. I don't think there is enough air in the jar for the butterfly to survive. Let's set her free first. There she goes, free and happy. Let's move on with the lesson. Wow, what a beautiful, well-groomed child. This reminds me a question. Are children a living thing? Let's find out. Do as I say. Yes, all of you, sitting on the other side of the screen. Do as I say. Try to breathe with holding your nose while I count till 5, just like her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you know why it's difficult to do so, because you also need air to breathe, just like the butterfly. First, characteristic of living things. They need air to breathe. Do you think they have more characteristics? Let's find out. Living and non-living things. From the book, the cover page we shared in the beginning. This is Unit 1 and page 1, and we're going to read the first para. Living things. We use these words quite often, but what do they really mean? Living thing is the name of a certain group of things. Human beings, animals, and plants belong to this group. Things belonging to this group generally have 7 characteristics. Let's talk about the characteristics living things have. First of all, as we discussed earlier, they breathe. They eat food and need energy. They produce waste matter. They reproduce, grow old and die, show movements. They are sensitive. These 7 characteristics are from this part of the book, but they generally apply to all living things. Let's find out more about breathing. Living things breathe. Look, it's a dog. Is this dog alive? I wonder if the dog is still breathing. How can we check? If you move your finger closer to his nose, you can feel the air coming out of his nose on your fingers. That means dog is still alive. But if you're scared like me, you can watch it from distance. Observe if the dog's tummy is moving. It will be a slow movement, but yes, it's moving. Dog is still alive. But please don't go near to the wild animals to check. Just observe from far, far distance. This looks like a home dog. We can only get closer to our pets, not the wild animals. They could be very dangerous. Living things breathe in gas called oxygen. Oxygen is present in the air around us. All the living things have some kind of opening through which oxygen can enter their bodies. Like you can see, humans have nose. All the other animals have nose. They might look a bit different, but the function is the same. Let's find more about other animals. Wow, fishes. How do you think fish breathe? Do they have a nose? They live underwater. How they are getting air in the water? Fish breathes in the oxygen from water. They breathe through gills. Gill help the fish to take oxygen from water. Plants. Plants breathe through tiny holes called stomata. The holes are so tiny they can't be seen without a microscope. This is how you see something from a microscope. Now when you see a plant in your home, have a closer look at the back of the leaf or the front of the leaves. Find out if you see any tiny hole and do let us know in the comments. Now let's have a look at the difficult words from the lesson. Now let's talk about some scientific vocabulary we learned from the lesson. Living things, non-living things, characteristics, characteristics. You need to work on this word a little. It's a new one and a big one and a difficult one. Breathe, energy, excrete, reproduce, movement, sensitive, oxygen, gills, stomata, stomata, microscope, waste matter. Waste matter and excrete are two words for the same thing. Now I suggest you to make a list of these words and try to learn their meaning and their spellings. I will post this list in the comments where you can get it and work on it. Things to do from the lesson. Try to read the only part we have learned so far. Learn the meanings and spellings of the scientific vocabulary given at the end. Make a list and try to figure out how these things work. I would suggest you to observe different animals, birds in your lawn, plants, and if you have fish at home or any other pet, try to learn by observing them how do they breathe, or do they have any other characteristics, the 7 ones we discussed earlier. We will discuss them later as well in the next video. Now I'm going to end this first lesson here. This whole topic we will cover in 3 more lessons. So there are going to be 4 lessons in total. So I told you what you have to do after this lesson. You will read the page appearing on the screen. If you don't have the same book, then don't worry. Just read what is in your book. Okay? And try to make your own list of scientific vocabulary. Okay? And learn what does that vocabulary mean. Follow us for more videos. Thanks for watching.